YouTube, what's happening? It is Tuesday, April 29th, and we're going to talk about some MLB first today. It is Tuesday. Everybody plays at nighttime tonight. Everyone, it's all 15 games are happening today. We're going to break every game down like we always do. Look at the spreadsheets, look at the props, see if we can find some value. But first, we got to do a recap of yesterday because if you've been following me for the last 2 days, you've done quite well because Vientos green, Williams green, Warren green, Palante green, Corbin green. That's 5-0 yesterday. And the day before that, if you weren't paying attention, we went 9-1. The only loss was the over 8. That's 14-1 in the last 2 days in just MLB alone. Absolute crushing it. The numbers are numbering. That's the best way to say it. So if you want the plays typed out for every sport I do, or just access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research, go check out the HQ right there. Simple as that. So enough of that. We have a whole bunch of games, whole bunch of potential value to go find. So let's stop wasting time and let's jump to that first game right now. All right, before we jump to the first game, let's do a little quick recap of the weather. Cleveland, 18 miles an hour out, but it's going to be nasty. There's a chance they probably don't even play this game today. So we might be safe and just not do anything in this game. Baltimore out 12 miles an hour, potential overplay in this one. Anytime you have the wind going like that is always nice to see. Good day. Rain also in Cincinnati, potential rain out or delays there is possible. 9 blowing out to left. 13 going to the left field pole. Also, weather is just not good today in some of these spots in Pittsburgh. So Philly, you can see 16 straight out right center over. We got some easy overs today. Hopefully some easy overs. We'll see how it goes. Tampa in at 9, not the best against the Royals. And we got a new series today too for some of these teams. Toronto's on a dome. Mets out 20 to left. Oh, with Arizona too. Oh man, I'm just gonna. Oh, buddy. Okay, and then Chicago, Milwaukee to right field pole 10, and then Texas, Houston are in domes. Rockies out to right at 6 versus the Braves. San Diego out 5. Seattle's a dome, and the Dodgers 9 against Miami. So, yeah, we got some definite weather situations happening on the East Coast for sure. So, gotta pay attention to those. So, that's your weather. Let's go ahead and jump to the first game, which is Minnesota and Cleveland. We can see currently it's Cleveland 150 with an 8.5 total. Let's pop over to ye old spreadsheet so we can take a look and see how these teams are doing. Minnesota's doing quite well offensively. We took Cleveland pitcher to give walks yesterday. Gavin Williams gave up 2 walks like we thought it would. He only last 2 innings. He still gave up 2. It was great. Love that. So you see this. Minnesota's doing better. They are on the road, 4-game winning streak. Good job, Minnesota. Let's pop over to the pitchers. It's going to be Bye BB versus Paddock. Okay, so the way we do things now is it's been working. We look at it and see what we want to look at. We're not looking at anything down here unless you want to take it under. You want to go Tanner under or just under everything. Hits allowed and strikeouts, by all means, enjoy. So I'm not taking anything. We're only looking at overs. Tanner to give up 2 walks. Walk props are 3-0 in the last 2 days. 3 or 4-0. I can't remember how many I've taken, but it's been working out greatly for both these guys. Let's look. We do want to open them up and take a look at how they've been doing historically versus these teams, see if there's any particular bats we want to look at, like Carlos Correa, 353 and 17 at bats versus Tanner. Yeah, no home runs, but only a .742. That's it. But 353 is not bad. I mean, he's just a singles merchant. That's what he is. Against righties, you can see how Minnesota has been doing this season. We don't have anything good on here. Like nothing, even Correa, only 198. Damn, like nobody's good. Like the highest is what, 283 for Jeffers? That's the highest one. All right, Cleveland versus righties. How are you doing? We got 370 for Quan because Quan is amazing. We know this. 263, 288. Nothing stands out. Paddock history versus Cleveland. Nothing there for us. So nothing really stands out. Maybe Carlos Correa. That's about it. But all right, walks. 4-1-2-2-4. So that's 2025. That's the season so far. He's averaging 2.6 walks currently, and then we want to look over and see which teams are doing good in the walk category. Well, Cleveland's not getting any walks, so we're not taking Paddock to get walks. So we might take let's look at the other side. Let's go look at Tanner and see if he gives up walks. Mr. Baby BB. Oh, yeah, 2025. 3-4-4-1-2. You're averaging 218, which is even worse. Yeah, we come back over here, we see the sheet, we see 6 walks, are averaging 4.1 the last 10. Tanner is going to be our play in this one for sure. Over 1.5 walks, that's our play. Next. Our game 2 is going to be Yankees and Orioles, and we currently see is New York 148 on the road with a 10 total. Remember the weather. Remember, I'll show you again. It's right here. Look at that, 12 blowing straight out. Now this one I didn't like. We took the walks last time, but if it cancels out, I'm okay with that because walks is a good play. I doubt the game happens. This one should happen. So we're gonna be looking at the over. 10's a lot though. 10. Let's go back and look at the spreadsheet. Let's see what we got. Offense is doing great for New York. Baltimore, not so much. That's not indicative of an over. I don't care how much the wind's blowing. If a team can't hit the ball, period, like you can't get hits, you can't get average, you can't get doubles, you can't do anything with your bats. Why would I ever take an over? I'm sorry. Yeah, it might happen, but yeah, not something I'm going to pay to find out. Let's go over to the props and look at the pitchers. We got Kyle Gibson versus Carlos Rodon. Let's look at these two. What's standing out? There's a lot of green on here. That's a lot. Gibson over 2.5 walks allowed is 4 out of 5. Carlos 4 out of 5 on his outs. Strikeouts 6.5. Baltimore is 20. Ooh, hold up. 26 and 29 on strikeouts. I didn't even notice that one. Hey, we might be looking at some Rodon strikeouts. Baltimore swinging and missing at a lot of things recently. Gibson hits is doing good. Outs is okay. Strikeouts is okay. So we got something. We got a little pitcher battle, don't we? Okay. Nice. Let's go to matchups first, see if any bats really stand out. New York versus Gibson. Historically, Jazz is 357 with that 1.1 OPS. Not bad. A bunch of garbage down here. Judge is 1 for 10. Grisham's like 2 for 15. Like, what is this nonsense? Garabaggio is what it is. Volpe is 1 for 9. Ew. Against righties, you can see how the Yankees been this year. 389, 353, a bunch of threes. You know this by now. Against Baltimore versus lefties this year. 391 for Mullins with a 1.2. And then 143, 118, 400 for Urias with 15 at bats, 167, 179, 188. Two dudes can hit. Everyone else is going to struggle. Why would I take an over? I know the wind's crazy, but if anything, I'm leaning Yankees for sure. Yankees have the bats. We see Baltimore does not have the bats. Against Rodon, historically, what do we have? We have a little bit of history, but not enough for me to care about. I care about what you've done right now, and this is right now. This season, outside of you two, the team sucks when it comes to batting. And there's some studs on this team, and they suck this right against lefties. So we could take that, but we're going to go to strikeouts. 2025. This is your first game of the season, which is even better. I didn't realize that. Now I know something. So you want me to take you over for 4.5 strikeouts? It's your first game of the damn season because your last game was against Colorado right here. Not a chance I'm taking that. So it's another fade. We're on Yankees money line heavy now. Rodon strikeouts. How you doing earned runs? He gave up nothing last 2 games. Nothing to Tampa, nothing in Cleveland, and that was in 6 and 7 innings. Dude's been on point last 2 games. Strikeout wise, 8, 8, 9, 8. Yeah, 7 strikeouts is very possible for him against Baltimore, and I think he could hit that quite easily. Hell, you could probably alt that down to 5.5 probably if you wanted the juice. 6 on Prize Picks. You want to go PP? You could, but 6.5 plus 115 Yankees or 148 money line. I'm just gonna go straight up Yankees money line. That's just the easiest play. Yankees money line. I don't see how they lose this game. Next. All right, game 3 is going to be Chicago Cubs and Pittsburgh, and we can currently see it is Cubbies 148 with an 8.5 total. Let's look over at spreadsheets. What do we got standing out? They're getting runs. They're doing better with batting average, but they can't convert them into runs. So they're leaving a lot on base. Pittsburgh is. Strikeout wise, Cubs are striking out. Actually, they're both striking out in the 20s. That ain't good. It's not where you want to be. Cubs are at least getting the extra bases and everything. They're getting doubles. They're number 1 in triples, 9th in home runs. So there's no real lean either way here so far. We did see that the weather, remember the wind blowing to left pole at 13, but potential. This should be a pass, just like the other one up here. Like this is probably a pass. This should be a pass, but I took the walks anyway just in case. If it does rain, it might make the grip on the ball a little bit worse if he does pitch somewhat in the rain. So not too mad at that if we're going for walks. Looking at Shota versus Haney, and there is no green here. Nobody. Shota's good, decent. Haney's but let's look at these two. Nothing standing out. So we're no pitcher props in this one. Nothing here. Let's look at Haney history. Turner is 294 with 2 homers and 17 at bats with a 9.8. Nothing else. No other data. Cubs against lefties this year. 450 for Suzuki, 355 for Happ, 316 for Warner, 444 for Birdie. Yeah, they got half the lineup can hit the ball against lefties, which is what you want to see as a team. Good stuff. We flop sized to Pittsburgh against lefties. We got a 333 for McCutcheon and a Bart's a 389. You haven't played enough. So against Shota, history, nothing, not real data. So there's nothing much in this game. I'll show you the bats real quick too, just in case you want to see them. I'm personally, yeah, here's all of them. If you want to take something, you can just look over here and see these. I'm going to pass on this game. Next. All right, next up we got St. Louis and Cincinnati. And currently we're sitting at Cincinnati 132 with a 9.5 total. Spreadsheet. Let's see what we got. Man, I love Cincinnati right now. They're fun. They are fun when you just see a line of ones, just nonstop ones, because they're just so good at everything. 7.3 runs on average. They're averaging 12 hits a game in the last 10 games. That is ridiculous. So, yeah, everything's good. Steals, RBIs, walks. That's why you got 7.3 runs a game, is because of things like that. So let's look at the weather just in case. This one, man, I want to play this one, but I'm concerned by the weather. You see it's blowing out to left at 9, but the rain is in the, let's go to props. Who we got? Brady Singer strikeouts is standing out over 5. Walks allowed 7 out of 10, but nothing here, so we're going to avoid that. Singer strikeouts we could look at. That would be against St. Louis, who is 12th in strikeouts. Not loving that. Mikolas walks allowed against a team who is, I don't know if you just noticed this or not. He's 80% walks. You see it, right? I don't know if you noticed, but since he is second, it walks at 5.1 a game. We might have a winner right there already. Mikolas, 2 walks. That's all we need. Let's go to props and dig a little deeper into these pitchers, shall we? I love these walk props. They're so slept on. We did that a little bit last year, and then we did it pretty well with them. So, Singer versus history, 1 for 2 against Contreras. Nothing else. St. Louis versus righties. Let's see how they're doing. We got 377 for Donovan. We got 300 for Burleson, and that's it. Everybody else is mid to low 2s. Not the best overall. Cincy versus righties. 295, 400 for Gavin. Damn, dude. Mark Day, 382, 500 for wins because he doesn't play much, but you see still that. And 360 for Trevino. Yeah, they got some heavy hitters out there. Against Mikolas history, we got more heavy hitting. Oh my God. Friedel's 357. This is against Mikolas history. 364, geez, 500. Oh my God. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, clearly we have Cincy, who does really well against Mikolas, against Miles. So that's a point for Cincy. We got potentially walks for him against Cincy, who's number 2 on walks, or we could just straight take Cincy to whip ass because one, they're at home. What's the money line? 132. How they have the better pitching advantage? They have a massive hitting advantage. They have a history advantage. They have the home field advantage. Cincy 132 seems like the best value. I don't see why anything else I would take would make any sense. St. Louis would have to overcome 4 advantages to win this game, and I don't see them doing it. So I'm taking Cincinnati on the money line next. All right, Washington and Philadelphia is up now, and we're currently sitting on Phillies 190 with that 8.5 total. Let's look over at the sheet. We see the numbers, a lot of mid. Nothing's really standing out. Nothing. Runs are mid. All this is a little bit above average, about the same though. Both same in hits. Neither team strikes out much. They're both in this top half where you want to be. Nothing standing out so far. Maybe 6 versus 26 in walks if we have a pitcher gives a walks. Let's take a look. Pitching today is going to be Mackenzie Gore and Zach Wheeler. And we got a lot of green on the last 5. Mackenzie Gore outs is good. Wheeler strikeouts against Washington. Hell no. Not a chance. Washington's 7.40. They're not number 1 right now. They're number 8. But hey, last 10 games is a rolling average, so it can change any minute. Gore strikeouts against Philly. Gore has been striking out the whole world recently because he has been disgusting with his strikeouts. We'll look at that one. Wheeler earned runs. I don't know. The bats aren't that great for me to care about that. Wheeler hits. Washington is 8th in hits at 9.2 a game. They're tied with Philly, actually, so we could look at that too. So let's open these 2 up. Core, let's look at the history first. Wheeler versus Washington history. We got a bunch of, 364 for Lau. And that's up 297, 4 home runs for Bell. Nothing really stands out. Righties, this is how Washington's been all season. And we have a 300, we have a 328, and that's it. Everybody else is in the 2s. Oh, no, lies. I apologize. Calls at 324 as well. How dare I forget? Philly versus lefties, and we can see how they do. Schwarber, 343, 4 homers with a 1.2. Anybody else stand out? Turner, 324 with only a 0.68. It's weird. Castellanos 387 with a 1.1 is pretty good, and that's about it. No one else matters. Gore history versus Philly, and 250, 263. A lot of at bats, a lot of data here. So you can see 318 for Castellanos, Yeah, they're about average. They have their battles. So you can tell there's a lot of at-bats here. So they have seen Gore plenty of times. So which makes me a little concerned on strikeouts because it's at 6.5. Philly is averaging 7.8 in the last 10 games for the whole game. So I don't like this. And then you got the wind, like literally the wind's going to be causing factors here, straight out to right center. At 16, yeah, no, there's gonna be some home runs in this game. What's the over under? 8.5. We got two good pitchers. Yeah, no, no, no. This I don't. There's nothing here I want to take. Let's go look at props for the bats. Let me show you the bat props just in case you want to take these, because over could potentially be in play, and that's all we got. Cruz, Bohm, Schwarber walks, and Woods. That's it. Man, none of that looks good. Yeah, we're gonna pass next. All right, moving on. Kansas City and Tampa. Currently is Tampa 150 with an 8.5. Let's look over at the sheet, and we have looking like a Nerfy. Tampa has not had a run in the first inning in the last 10 games at least. Good job, Nerfy Kings out here. Home though, they're 68% hitting the Nerfy, 75% on the season, so they're better at home hitting the Nerfy. Interesting. Both teams kind of suck at runs lately. Both bottom 10. All of this is bottom 10. Nothing standing out. KC is not striking out much. Tampa is. So if we have strikeout props. No, we have Taj Bradley today, which is very scary if you're a Tampa fan, like I am. So, oh man, Taj Mahal Bradley. Uh, man goes from Cy Young candidate to why are you even pitching anymore in one season? So, let's see. What do we have? Walks allowed. KC, how are you on walks? You're 24th at 2.7. That don't help me none. How are you on strikeouts? He's got some strikeouts. Casey's third on strikeouts. We're taking nothing with you. Sorry, good sir. But we will open up and see the bats. We want to look at how the bats are doing historically overall. Casey versus Taj. Really? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Dude has a no-hitter going against KC. Okay, this had to be not the second half of last season. So, because I don't know what's going on here. Against righties, you can see how Casey's doing. They're not good. Casey's bats were at the bottom of the tier for like 2 straight weeks. We know they're terrible. We barely got a 300 for Waters. I'm surprised we even have one. We have a 298 for Bobby, and that's about it. Swap to Tampa, and we got against righties. Tampa's got some bats. 338 for Aranda, 435 for Simpson, and Misner's 339. Against Lorenz in history, again, 0, 0, 0, 1 for 2, 0. So the two pitchers have combined 1 hit allowed in their matchups against the other team. That's saying something. Weather's not a factor in this game. We already know that. We looked. I'm not taking any of this. Let's go to the bats. That's the wrong team. I was like, wait, there ain't no hit. Yeah, there's some. There was even worse here. Wow, okay. Drew Waters, but the only play you can really get here, unless you want to do a little bit of dumpster diving, which I'm not doing. So this game is not that great. Let me show you the spreadsheet one more again. We're not taking this. Pass. Next. All right, we got Boston and Toronto's up next with 154 for Boston with a 7.5 total. Kind of low, isn't it? What's the weather in this game? It's Toronto. It's in a dome, so no worries there. Spreadsheet. What we got? Toronto. Forgot how to play baseball, apparently. Boston doing very well in most areas, but the two that really matter the most, probably batting average and hits, which that's how you get those. They still get the runs, but man, if this was higher, they'd be crushing. They'd be better than 6-4. But hey, what can you do? They're not striking out much either. So Boston's playing well. Toronto is not. Let's look at the pitchers who we got today. Bowden Francis versus Gary Crochet, and Crochet strikeouts. He's hit over 6.5, 80% of the time. That's 4 out of 5 in the last 10. So Toronto strikeouts is at 11th with 7.6 per game currently. That's not a good lineup. I want somebody in the bottom. I want a red number next to my strikeouts if I'm taking it. So you're good, but you might hit it, but it's going to be sweaty. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going to be a little sweaty. So let's go open up and look and see what we got. We got a lot of studs today on the pitching. You notice this? A lot of them. Bowden Francis versus Boston. 2-5-1. Like, okay, he's done pretty. He's only been 1 or 2 games, you can tell, but he's done pretty damn good against Boston. Boston versus righties. How we doing? 330 for Bregman. 0.74 for Hamilton. Damn. And yeah, it's better than his lefty numbers. That is pathetic. 324 for Campbell. Durant's 302. Was that 313 for? Yeah. So you can see all that there. We'll swap to the other side. Toronto versus lefties. Straw 412, 333, 421, 316, 353, 652 for Heineman. I tried to take Heineman the other day, but it got rained out, and then I wasn't able to take him again. So because it wasn't a lefty this time. So against Crochet. Okay, so what do we got? We got the team that can crush lefties. Toronto crushes lefties this season. You can clearly see this. You can see the OPSs, you can see the numbers. They do quite well. Crochet is left-handed, and his history versus the same Boston people, he's more of your elite lefty. So yeah, if you want to take it, that's a battle. You're gonna have a battle on your hands right here. Like, man, good luck with that. I can't do this. Let's go look at the bats. Show you all the bats. Bregman, Durant, all the Boston bats are here with Springer at the end. Bring it up. This is too good of a matchup. I lean Boston with the bats. I lean Boston with the pitching, but then we got Toronto can crush lefties, which is very concerning. There's not enough here for me to have a real good value play, so we're going to pass. Next. Okay. Arizona and Mets. Remember the weather. Remember I said blowing straight out to left center at 20. What's the over-under? It's only 8.5, so which makes me a little skeptical of things. So let's go to the lines. Let's scroll down. Is Mets 140 with an 8.5 total. Let's look at the spreadsheets. We see Mets offense is crushing right now. Arizona's cooled off. Remember when they were hot playing the Cubs? You can't always play in Wrigley, can you? Well, apparently you can when the wind's blowing 20 miles out to left. 8.5. I mean, I wasn't taking the over 10 because Baltimore is not good enough to help that. They might be, but I'm not trusting them. Arizona's slumping. You can tell they were much better, but these are still average numbers overall. Like, we're still second in home runs for Arizona in the last 10 games. And guess what we're doing today? We're playing 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out the left center. Yeah, that's what I want to see. And then you see this, who's 6 in home runs. That's what we want. We want that. We want RBIs, but yeah, we want all this. We want contact. Good stuff. Runs, yes. 8.5 over is going to be most likely my play, but let's go look at the pitchers to be safe. Who's pitching in this game? Get rid of Crochet. It is going to be David Peterson and Rodriguez. Nothing pitcher prop wise, which is what you want to see. That's great. Let's see. We want to look at the history for these two because I'm gonna tell you right now. Oh yeah, Arizona versus David Peterson, 750, 400, 510 at bats, 333, 2. Yeah, good stuff. We got 1 and 2 home runs. We got some high OPSs. Nice. So far, it's a winner against lefties. How does Arizona do? 333, 241, 333, 333, 355 for Perdomo, and 31 at bats. Pretty good. Some struggle, but not as bad as other teams. Swap to the Mets against lefties. Mets 429 for Soto. Soto loves a lefty. 269 for Nimmo with 2. And Nimmo had 9 RBIs yesterday? Like, dude went crazy yesterday. 350, 357. So we got some pop against Rodriguez. Ew, they've had some. He's had some success against the Mets. Oh, okay. I'm still liking the over 8.5. If it was 9.5, I'd consider it 2 still. So we're at 8.5 with what's the juice on that bad boy? It's even. No, it's actually a little bit towards the under. No, it's even. It's a pick 'em. Okay. Yeah, we're going over. We're not going to overthink this one too much. Go back to the spreadsheet. You see the numbers. Remember the wind. Remember the wind. Sometimes the wind matters, and if it's blowing out, it matters a lot. So we're going to go over 8.5 in this one and move on to the next game. All right, next up we got Milwaukee and Chicago, and we can currently see it is Milwaukee 230 on the road with a 8 total. Let's look at the spreadsheet, look at the numbers. Chicago is below average. Clearly, Milwaukee is. They're all over the place in random categories. Like, they're number 1, they don't strike out, but they don't get home runs, they don't get triples. They just all, they're decent, they're average. Chicago's struggling clearly. So let's look at the pitcher props. So far, all we have is Freddie Peralta. Now, I know if I look over here that the pitcher listed on ESPN is going to be Bryce Wilson, but I don't trust ESPN half the time. So this pulls off of the Outlier does what all the other sites like these do. They pull directly from the sports books. That's how they get the live odds that like DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM, and so forth. So these are live odds. Why would the books have odds but not put odds for the other pitcher? It's because they know things that ESPN is too lazy to know. So yeah, not doing it. And you would think ESPN would know since they have their own sports book, but apparently, from what I understand from people, ESPN is the worst sports book. So hey, that's everybody's personal opinion. I have no clue. I can't use any of them. I'm in Florida, so I'm stuck to a very select few. So, all right, enough of that. Let's go to. Let's open this up. That's what we're gonna do. This is probably gonna be a pass. I'm not paying that much for walking on the road when they're not playing great. Just not doing it. We have Bryce Wilson lines. Hey, well, we have history. We have no lines. I can look at that at least. Okay, Bryce Wilson versus Milwaukee history. 273, 6. Not bad. Against righties, you can see how Milwaukee has done this year. 269, 348, 38. Nothing too impressive against Chicago. Chicago versus righties. Chicago's bad against everybody. He doesn't play much. So Peralta history shut him down pretty much, but still not enough for me to want to take anything. I'm gonna pass. Next. All right, next up we get the A's and the Rangers. We currently have Rangers as a heavy favorite, 198 at home with an 8.5 total. Spreadsheet looking like a hot dog, mustard and ketchup galore. Nothing really stands out in this one. You can see a little splash of relish on top, but still not good. Let's look over at the weathers in the domes. So no weather there. We go to the pitchers. We'll go to the bats first since we clicked on it. We have Urias, and that's time, and that's about it. Nothing else really stands out here. So no bats. Pitcher-wise, we have Jacob v. Jacob Lopez, minor leaguer from AAA, coming up today versus DeGrom, who we all know who DeGrom is. Jacob Lopez, AAA dude, he's coming up. He did have one start last year against, or one game last year against the Dodgers. He had one run in 5 innings, pretty good. But then funny thing is, if you go to history and you go look at Jacob Lopez versus Texas, he has this. So yeah, funny how that works. People move around. So you can see the numbers. His one start literally against these players, he shut them down. So against lefties, you can see how Texas is done. We got 389, 389. We got a 300 and a 308. We swap sides. We go to the A's. A's don't have much right now. 304, 308, that's it. And against DeGrom, not much stands out data-wise. So I don't like any of this. Typically, I would fade the pitcher coming in, but he's already faced all these dudes at least once. He isn't making his major league debut, but he's making a season debut. But And I don't like how I don't want to trust. I'm not putting a money line behind Texas at 200 with this offense. I just can't do that. So pass. Next. All right, we were struggling to find good plays here. So the value is just not there today so far. Now we have Detroit, Houston. Let's see what we got here. Basically a pick 'em with a 7.5 total. Cool spreadsheet. What we got numbers wise. Again, everything's pretty close. Nerfies are good, but then the averages are about average. So potential nerfing this one if we have good pitchers, which we have Reese Olson and Ryan Gusto. I don't know about that. So let's go to props. Because around here, we're only playing things that have good value. That's how we're 14-1 in the last 2 days. Someone's going to complain, why are you passing on everything? Why even make a video? I'm like, shush. Reese Olson walks. Strikeouts. Houston, how are you on strikeouts and walks, my guys? You 8th in strikeouts, but you don't walk. So you don't strike out, which takes out the Reese Olson strikeouts, and you don't walk, which takes out the Reese Olson walks. What? How you don't strike out or walk? You make contact. That's what you do, and then you just get out because you ain't doing much else. That's hilarious. All right, anything else? Gusto has like no data, so let's open these two. Let's open them up and see what we got under the hood. Pop the hood. Gusto, no data against righties. You can see how Detroit has been. We got a lot of twos, lots of twos. Almost a 3 for Dingler. He's fell below 3 now. Shameful, sir. Shameful. Against righties, Houston has done this. We have any threes? Barely. We have 290. Well, almost. We have a 296. So both teams have one guy that's almost a 3, which means they ain't that good at bats. Against Reese Olson, we got 1 for 3. A lot of nothing. This is a terrible day for bets in baseball. I'm going to tell you right now. I have 4 bets. And I love the bets I have so far. I hate the rest of the games. Like, I don't even want to take any. Like, I don't like this game either. This is a pass. So, but we show the bets. I'll make sure, because you might like something. So, yeah. I already showed you. Wait. No, that's the last game. I was like, wait a minute. Those look familiar. Baez has, McKinstry's got a couple. Dingler. Yeah. So they've done pretty good recently, but everything's too mid. I need clear cut value if I'm taking something, and I'm just not seeing it anywhere. So pass again. Next. All right, we got Atlanta, Colorado's up next, and we're sitting on Atlanta 196 with a 10.5. Interesting. Why is it so high? Weather is blowing out to right at 6 with a little bit of rain potential, so 57 degrees. So heat's not a factor. I don't consider that a factor, even though it's blowing that way. But that's more of a factor, like it's going to be a delay or not. So, I don't know. 10.5 seems a little high. I know it's cores and all, but damn. Spreadsheet. We'll see why. Atlanta's offense could do it by themselves because Colorado lost 8 in a row now. 4-24. Good job, guys. Good job overall. Love that. But they're tied for number 1 triples. So how is that happening? Who knows? Let's go to the pitches, shall we? We got AJ Smith-Shawver, and then we got German Marquez. Obviously, both don't have many stats here recently, but we can still look at both. Yeah, nothing good. So we're not taking a pitcher prop, especially with the over under 10.5 in a Colorado game. No, ain't crazy. Let's see, Gentleman versus Atlanta history. 364 with 2 homers and a 1.2. Ozuna with a home run of 2.6, 286, 333 and 6, 310, 503. Yeah, the ones that have done quite well. So against righties, you see how Atlanta has done 300, 368, 319, 308. They got 4 dudes over 300 still. Some teams can't even get one, and they just got this. So yeah, they're doing good. They're 13 and 15. They're about to be 500 after starting off what 0 and 8. Yeah, crazy times ahead. Colorado. Oh, I can't look at the pitchers. Really? You're not gonna let me look at the pitcher history? Shame. Like, we know the pitchers right there. It's AJ. Like, what? That's weird. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Let's go to bats. Matt Olson, Jordan Beck, Eli White, Michael Harris, and then Toglia. Those are your dudes that you want to take bats on. But man, I think it's got to be Atlanta, right? Money line. But Atlanta is minus 196. That's pricey. But I think we got second. It's under 200. It's in my wheelhouse. I'm a firm believer. If it's, for me personally, risk v reward, Atlanta money line. I'm gonna have a money line parlay of these 3 teams so far. I'm gonna tell you right now. So we'll take Atlanta on the money line because everything else, the pitchers are nothing really stands out for the pitchers. Atlanta has a good history against Colorado's pitcher, and they have the recency of the last 10. It's all on their side. Yeah, we'll take Atlanta money line next. All right, Angels, Seattle. They are in a dome, so don't worry about the weather. Currently, we're sitting on 175 Seattle with a 7.5 total. Pretty cheap. We can see Seattle 16 and 12 with a 2-game win, 7 and 3 last 10. Angels offense, never heard of it. I don't know what that is. They're still 30th. They're batting a $171 in the last 10. On base is 0.2. OPS is 0.54. What are we doing? That is ridiculous. Only 5.4 hits. They don't get walks. They strike out all the time. Angels are struggling. So Seattle money line, huh? Yeah, that's looking good if we got decent pitching. Let's look at the pitchers. Bryce Miller versus JK. I still can't say this man's name. Bryce Miller has given up at least 2 walks in 5 straight games and 9 out of 10. But we know, we just saw the Angels are dead last in walks at 1.2. So you're safe today, buddy. We ain't got to worry about that. Let's take a look at that. So break down the histories. Because so far, I'm just going to take Seattle money line, right? The obvious thing here. Let's see, your history versus the Angels, you've done pretty good, except Ward has had a little success, very little, but nobody else really has. Against righties, Angels, garbage. Outside of Nito, 345. That's it. Everybody else is below 3s now. Man, disgusting. Let's look at Seattle versus righties right now. This season, we got a 381 for Polanco, and we got several high 2s, but only one 300. Huh. Against JK, history 1 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 2, home run. So we do have some success here. So Seattle money line seem like the play, especially at 175. I'll pay that, sure. Damn, he does give a lot of walks, doesn't he? If Angels weren't the worst walk team in the league, I would take this because it just looks so good. And people are going to take this regardless, not knowing how bad the Angels are currently because they don't look at things like that. They're not going to notice that Angels are only getting 1.2 walks per game in the last 10. They're swinging and missing and everything. So very undisciplined team right now. So I'm taking Seattle money line next. Ooh, we got a San Fran slight favorite with a 6.5 total. That is low. And this is why, because my God, both teams suck offensively. Like, they both don't strike out much, but they just suck at everything else. They are so bad. They can't score runs. So, like, what happened to San Diego being amazing? 4-game losing streak. Yeah, this is baseball. Gamer, you're gonna have this is gonna be like this all season. You're gonna have teams doing this. Summer is gonna do that a lot. And that's gonna be your Rados and your White Sox. But then, yeah, even the best teams are gonna have days like weeks like San Diego's having. Just ain't working out for them. So, pitchers, who we got? Pavetta and Logan Webb. Let's see, Pavetta outs is doing good last 5, last 10 overall as well. So we could say Pavetta outs. Logan Webb strikeouts against San Diego. No, we don't take strikeouts against San Diego. They're 5th. That's like, they're good at that. They don't do anything else, but they don't strike out. 6.8. San Fran's number 1 at 6.2. Good stuff. So let's look at Pavetta outs potentially, and we'll also look at the history. Pavetta versus San Fran. We got 375, we got 200, 500, 500, not much data at all here. Against righties, San Fran, 328, 310, That's it. A lot of ones. Surprising, a lot of ones for righties. San Diego versus righties. Let's go. 377, 304. Everybody else is everybody's falling down because the team just isn't playing well. Against Webb, you can see historically that they do well against Webb. Wow. 375, 217, a bunch of bats for Tatis. 375, 361, 344, 333, 375, 636 for Louis. Oh my God. Okay, so they have the history, but man, they're playing like ass right now. Pavetta outs against San Fran, who's also not playing well. I don't like this 9 here. That is very concerning. You're averaging 18. Your number 17 and a half, 164. I could play this. He's averaged 7 the last 2. All he has to do is go 6. So it might feel like a break for him if he only does this. I don't see San Fran popping off on him either because he's had good history. Let's take this. I'm down. I'm down for Pavetta. Over outs. Over 17.5 PO. Pitching outs. Yeah, I can see this happen. Now he must have got rocked. Yeah, the Cubs rocked him, but I don't see San Fran with these numbers. I don't see them popping off on him. I just don't see it. So let me get Pavetta over to basically pitch 6 innings. That's what it is. Can he pitch 6 full innings and call it a day? That's what I'm gonna take next. Last game is Miami and the Doyers. Currently, Dodgers are 195 with a 8.5 total. Weather is currently sitting at remember, it's blowing out to right center at 9. So you got the weather for that. Looking at the spreadsheet, we have the numbers. Leans Detroit. It leans the Dodgers. You can see it's all yellow and green. They got a little bit of, they got a little bit of red mixed in theirs. They don't walk much, which is not good, and they don't get on base much. On base percentage is terrible. Why is it so bad? Because you don't walk much. That's why. Yeah, of course. You don't get runs though. That's interesting. So let's look at the pitchers. Pitchers. It's Sandy versus somebody. Okay, who is missing? Who is not telling me? Sandy is not looking good. Sandy's not Sandy. So. Not the Sandy from old. So can we at least see? Nope, we have no clue. Who is going out there for the Dodgers? Let me look. It's undecided. It's literally even on ESPN. It's telling me. We don't know. They don't know here either. Suppose. Oh, that's why. That's why. They probably just added him for the Braves too. So okay, whatever. All right, cool with me. So props. We'll show Sandy stuff, but I think you know where this is going to go. Sandy historically versus Doyos has been getting his ass kicked. 417, 462, 353, 25. Yeah. Dodgers are 195, huh? But we don't know who the Dodgers are pitching. That's a big thing. So they have great success against him. And 314 on the season, 349, 304, 333. Man. Do I want to trust the Dodgers against Sandy? I thought about it. I looked at the props. I went through the batting props. Nothing looks good. Some things look decent. I know he has a good history versus some of the players in the Dodgers, but those players aren't doing well recently. So the smart thing is we're going to leave it alone. We're going to pass, and we're just going to call it a day. It is not a good day for betting in baseball. I'm going to tell you right now. 15 games, and I have a whopping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to throw a money line parlay, though. We got you on the money line parlay. Don't worry about that. We're going to trust the how everything's been going. So the money line parlay is going to be Yankees. It's going to be Cincy. We're just going to put all the money lines together. Atlanta and Seattle. Those 4. I had no money lines yesterday. I have 4 today. How does that work out? So money line parlay is that for sure. We got those plays. Let's go to the schedule and take a look at how everything's going for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday Day. We got our usual set of games. Everybody's playing. I'll be back tomorrow. Go check out the HQ if you want the plays typed out in a nice list, or if you want access to the spreadsheet so you can do your own research. Other than that, drop a like, subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and I appreciate you. And let me know what you're playing in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday, for some more MLB.